let me introduce you to a very, very affordable Polaroid printer on the market, the Keypix. But before we get into it, let me also introduce you to myself. Hello everyone, my name is Afra. Welcome to my channel. If you found this video helpful, please drop a comment and subscribe to see future unboxings that I have lined up. So first, let's do a little get to know the Keypix with a tour of the Polaroid printer. Alright, so starting at the bottom edge of the printer, you'll see where the Polaroid print will come out. And on the other side, you'll find this knob that's titled Print. This is what you'll have to turn in order for the Polaroid print to actually come out. Okay, so on the back of the printer, you'll see where to insert your Polaroid film, which is only compatible with Fujifilm Instax, so you'll need to buy that separately. I already had mine inserted, but make sure that the yellow tab is facing towards you when you put it in. And notice how there's no insert for batteries? Yes, that is because the Polaroid printer requires no batteries or charger or power source at all, making this extremely convenient to take anywhere with you and not worrying about batteries or what type of batteries you need. All right, let's continue the Keypix printer tour. So to set this printer up, you're going to open up the sidewalls of this camera like this. Next, you're going to slide out the white frame that's locked in there. And when you do that, you'll see this camera pop out because in reality, this Polaroid printer is just a Polaroid camera. It's kind of like a macro Polaroid camera, so it will come out blurry if you try to take pictures from far away. Trust me, I've tried. Okay, so now that we got the frame out, you can put the Keypix walls in an upward standing position like this. So the frame is going to be used to hold your phone up and also to frame the image that you want taken. To set this last part up, you need to line up the two hooks on top of the wall of the Keypix. I also wanted to point out this photo icon. You want to make sure that your phone is facing forward towards the same direction as the photo icon so your picture doesn't come out backwards. And now we have set up the Keypix and it should look like a little house. Now it is time to take our Polaroid, and this is where I kind of messed up. So a major Keypix tip is to make sure that you are taking your photos inside or away from harsh lighting because it will expose your photos. Remember, this Polaroid printer is really just a Polaroid camera for your phone, so any surrounding lighting will overexpose your photos into something like this. So let's move indoors to complete this tutorial. Okay, this is much better. Alright, this part is the easiest. Pick out the photo that you want to print out from your phone. Make sure that your phone is on full brightness so the image can be captured clearly, and you want to make sure it's framed on the screen well like this. You can also double check by looking at this mirror that's provided on the Keypix. To be honest, I don't find the mirror that helpful at all. I personally like to put the Keypix on a table and just look under it to see where my phone is placed. You want to make sure that there aren't any borders of your phone or gaps inside the frame because it will be included in the Polaroid and it will show up as black borders. And here are some failed examples of that. Okay, once you got your phone positioned, remember facing upwards like the photo icon, you are simply going to push down here to capture. Then to get the Polaroid, turn the print knob and you are done. And just like a normal Polaroid, you want to put the photo away somewhere dark to develop and not in harsh lighting. What I personally like about the Keypix that you can't do with a Polaroid printer is the double exposure trick. What this means is that you can layer on two images onto one Polaroid to get this cool effect. Here's how. Take your first photo as normal, but before you turn the knob to print, switch your image to a second image of your choice and take another photo. Now you can turn the knob and you will print out a Polaroid with two images layered on it. You can definitely get more creative than I did here, but I have my lychee drink layered on top of this airplane window view. So I went out to run some errands and I wanted to test out the Keypix a little bit more and give you more examples of how these Polaroid prints come out. At the end of this video, I'll give a quick roundup of pros and cons after testing out this printer, so let's go. Okay, after using this Keepix, here are some of my pros and cons before you make your Polaroid printer purchase. So my favorite part about this is that you can edit your photo any way you want before printing it. I mean, you can do this with any Polaroid printer, but I guess this kind of overrides the point of buying a Polaroid itself. So this is pretty cool. And you can do fun edits or filters and get a Polaroid version of it. The fact that this requires no batteries or no charger is a huge win. Like, you don't have to worry about these things, and it can be really convenient when you are on the go or when you're traveling. This is such a cheaper option. I bought this at $25, but when I checked on Amazon, it looks like it's $30 right now, and it really depends what color you buy and what's in stock. So if you don't find it on Amazon, be sure to check out Walmart or any other stores. But I think the cost here is so worth saving on, and I know that like it's not the most convenient Polaroid camera, but you can work with it and it's not that big of a deal, and I think it is overall worth it. And I really like how this Keepix is compatible to Fujifilm Instax. So you don't have to buy anything separate just to accommodate for this. You can just use what you already have or buy in bulk, for example. So the first major negative I would say is the exposure. So unfortunately, your exposure will depend on where you take your Polaroid print. And you can see I made that mistake earlier in this video where I took the Polaroid print outside and it was overexposed and my Polaroid ended up turning white. And so you want to go into low lighting, but that is a little bit inconvenient. I guess that is what comes with the low cost. And with that being said, this is essentially a Polaroid camera, just taking a picture of your picture. So it's not really a printer. I'm not really sure how the technology works for the more expensive Polaroid printers, but this kind of just seems really basic. So nothing fancy. So it's not a full-on negative, but just wanted to throw that out there. And lastly, the Keepix is super flimsy and not stable at all. And the blame here really goes on the frame where you put your phone on. Like, the frame would fall off all the time. It's not really stable. It's just kind of laying on top of those little hooks, but doesn't really have like a tight grip or hold on it. So that part is really annoying, especially when you want to check if the image is fitting the frame and turning the Keepix around. Yeah, it's not a good idea because the frame would just fall off and it's just really annoying to deal with. But of course, I just have to remind myself that I'm saving some money. So overall, I would recommend the Keepix, but I just wanted to throw out all the pros and cons before you decide to buy it or not. And that is my Keepix tutorial, tips and tricks. So are you considering buying the Keepix or another Polaroid printer? I want to know. Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, stay healthy and happy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!